Hi, this is Beaux Pilgrim, Beaux Knows Insurance, Read Insurance, talking today about 10 mistakes that people make when they're buying auto insurance. I'm going to give you 10 tips to help you keep from making the mistakes that most other people make when they're buying auto insurance. Hey, look, auto insurance is expensive. It's getting more expensive right now. We're seeing with inflation being so much more and so many more natural disasters happening, we're also seeing auto insurance rates just go higher and higher. And so you need to make informed decisions. So I'm going to try to help you make informed decisions about your auto insurance so you don't pay too much for what the coverage that you need, and also keep you from just making some of those different mistakes and just not knowing what in the world you're buying. Look, if you're going to spend a lot of money on your auto insurance, shouldn't you understand what you're buying? Don't you deserve to know what in the world it is you're buying? Well, all right, well, I'm going to give you 10 tips today to help you understand the best decisions that you can make about buying your auto insurance. So let's get into that, and let's start off with number one. So number one is knowing the insurance coverage that you need. Too many times consumers will go in and they got no idea what they're looking for. They'll go in and they just ask for, well, I need full coverage. Well, they don't even know what that word really means. And really, there's no real term that I can just say, okay, full coverage, here, I check this box and that gives you this. There's not really anything called full coverage, honestly. Now we have like some sort of an estimate or an assumption we can make that will say, yeah, this is what that means. But look, whenever you assume things, it doesn't work out the best for you. It's not the best thing you can do for yourself. So don't assume and don't just go in not knowing what it is that you actually need. Number two is going to be not comparing insurance companies or also really insurance agents. I would almost say that not comparing insurance agents is probably even more important than not comparing insurance companies. Here's the deal. A lot of insurance companies unfortunately have bad reviews because the thing is like whenever people don't just get excited about reviewing insurance companies. They get excited and motivated whenever something goes wrong. So that's whenever people review insurance companies is whenever that happens. And so it's going to be a lot of negative reviews, unfortunately, because of that. They're not warranted. Most insurance companies are very good. Now, what is important is to know your insurance agent. As an independent insurance agent, we represent a lot of different insurance companies. And if it's a good agent, they're going to be picky about who they work with. We are. You can take a look at us and you can do a Google on us and see that we've got a lot of Google reviews that are all 5-star reviews because we care about our client, and also we're very picky about the insurance companies that we work with. Hey, look, we value the relationship that we have with you as a consumer. We're an advocate for you. We don't want to put you with a company that we know is not going to take good care of you. We fired insurance companies in the past. We will probably again in the future do that too, because they didn't take good care of our clients. So look up the reviews about whoever your agent is and look for an independent insurance agent because they represent a lot of companies. So that's number two, is not comparing your insurance agency. So number three is lying on your application. Hey, don't lie on your application. Look, here's the one thing is, if you think you're going to be able to hide violations or accidents, whatever else that you've had or claims, it's going to show up. All those different things are going to show up because we run all kind of different reports that show these different things that you've got on your history. Now, another thing that potentially maybe not show up is undisclosed drivers. Now, if you've got some sort of drivers in your house, such as teenage drivers, or just maybe a family member or something like that lives with you, you may need to list them. The reason is there's some insurance companies out there that will exclude coverage for that person if they live inside of your house. So if they're driving your car with your permission and they're not listed, they may be excluded. And if they have an accident, there may be no coverage. It doesn't matter if it's their fault or not, there may be absolutely no insurance coverage at all. We don't represent any insurance companies like that, but you need to be aware that there's a lot of insurance companies out there that are both direct and also in the independent channel that do. So don't lie on your application. Another thing is that, if you do lie on the application and you're found out at claim time, that's called fraud, and they can deny your claim no matter what. So don't do that. All right, so number 4 is forgetting to update your insurance policy. Hey, look, life changes, right? All kind of different things change, like you pay off your car. You have a teenage driver that comes on. You have a teenage driver that moves out of the house. You have You move to another location, maybe inside the same city, but still all those things impact your rates on your policy. Maybe you don't need some certain coverages anymore. Maybe you do need some other coverage now. So make sure that you talk with your agent annually and let them know, hey, these are the different things that are going on in my life. These are some things that are changed that do they affect my insurance? The number 5 thing is going to be the wrong deductible amounts. Look, the higher the deductible, the lower your premium. The lower your deductible, the higher your premium. Ask yourself, does it make sense for me to have a $500 deductible? Whenever you can afford to have a higher deductible, because you're probably not going to turn in those smaller claims anyway, because they're just going to adversely affect your insurance. So, ask your agent about increasing those deductibles and save some money. Number 6 is going to be not researching car insurance online. That goes back to really number 1 to some degree, right? It's you going in and making sure you understand the coverages that are there. And look, if you work with us, we're going to explain to you about those insurance coverages, but every agency is not going to do that. I've talked before about our 4 promises that we got. And one of those promises is that we want to make sure that you understand what you're buying so you feel good about it, right? You need to understand. It's a lot of money. You should understand. Do research on your own and then talk to your agent. If your agent is not explaining these coverages, you need to find another agent because they are not the best agent for you. So let's talk about number 7. So number 7 is just buying the minimum insurance coverage. Now, a lot of states have a minimum liability limit coverage that you can buy, and you can buy this perfectly legal, but it is not the best thing for you. Here's why. Whenever you buy those really low limits, they're not going to adequately protect your assets. Many times these asset amounts are not even enough to pay for a car if you get an accident, that you would get an accident with to get it fixed. What happens is if you have an accident and you run out of those liability limits, the insurance company is out of the game and it's up to you, and you got to get out your checkbook or your credit card and start passing out the dollar bills because you're still responsible even though you run out of insurance. So do not buy the minimum limits. If you've got an agent that is okay with you buying that, and you've got a $300,000 house, you've got a couple of cars, you've got children that are in college or whatever, you need to fire that agent and find you another agent. Look, we try to make sure that all of our clients have higher limits than that, to make sure that they have adequate limits for what their needs are. If your agent is not willing to talk to you about it or just says, that's all you need to fire that agent, find you another insurance agent. So let's talk about number 8. So number 8 is buying excessive coverage. Now, I know it sounds funny for an insurance agent to say, well, you could buy too much insurance. Well, you can. There's different coverages that you just flat out don't need. Remember, I talked about the lower deductibles. You don't need lower deductibles. If you can afford to pay $1,000 or $2,500 out of pocket, you need to do that because you don't need to file those small claims anyway because you're just going to pay for it over time. So that's just not wise. Well, there's also other coverages that you just may not need to buy. Like if you buy a brand new car, the dealership's going to try to sell you a coverage called GAP. Well, you can buy that from your insurance agent for a lot less money. I mean, like maybe a tenth of what the cost is at the dealership. Other things that you can buy that you may not need later on, or that you maybe just not need at all, is full glass. Comprehensive coverage is going to cover your windshield, but maybe you've got a really small deductible. I mean, do you need full glass? I mean, how often do you really replace a windshield? Do you need to pay that extra money for that, or just keep that money in your pocket, and then whenever you need it, then you pay it, because you may not ever pay it. Look, I've had a vehicle I've been driving my own cars for over 30 years. I've only replaced the windshield once. Does that make sense for me to pay more money when I've only replaced the windshield once and all that time on one of the 2 cars that we have? It doesn't make sense. Number 9, let's see, get my fingers right there. Number 9 is not asking questions. Hey, look, you deserve to know. You deserve to understand what you're buying. You are the consumer. You're paying the money. You have a right to understand what you're buying. Ask questions. Don't feel dumb. Ask questions. If your agent will not take the time to explain coverages to you, fire them. Get another one. There's plenty of good agents out there. Remember, Go back, and I talked about the researching of your insurance agent. Hey, Google your area or Google us and look up the reviews that they have and find an agent that's got a lot of good reviews and then call them. So ask questions. And number 10 is not looking for car insurance discounts. Look, there's tons of discounts out there, whether you're in a military, educator, your education level, married, student, all kind of different things, or bundling your insurance. There's all kinds of different discounts out there. Hey, talk to your agent. Tell them a little about yourself. Tell them if you got students, children away at school, or you're about to get married, or you're about to buy a house, or you're planning on living somewhere, or if you're active military. All those different things matter. Make sure that you talk to your agent about those. Like on your home side. Does anybody smoke in your house? Is someone at home during the day? Do you have an alarm system? Make sure your agent knows these things so that they can give you the adequate discounts that you deserve. Look, even the best agent is going to forget some questions. They're going to try to do their best to find out. At least a good agent is going to try to find out, different ways that they can help you save on your auto insurance. We do. We have a standard list of questions that we ask every time we talk to a new client. Make sure your agent is asking those. If your agent is not willing to talk to you about it, or says, oh yeah, there's no discounts out there, fire that agent, get another agent. Hey, look, I hope this top 10 has helped you to make more informed decisions about buying your auto insurance. If your insurance agent is not willing to talk to you about these different things, you need to fire them and find you another agent, because you have a right to know and to understand about these things. Hey, this is Beaux Pilgrim, Bud Knows Insurance, Read Insurance. If you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you have not hit that button yet, just make sure you hit that thumbs up if this video helps you out. If you have any questions or comments, or you have another video you want me to record for you, hey, record that down here. And just type it down in the comment section. I'll be glad to take care of that for you. Appreciate you checking us out, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.